like, oh, well, she wouldn't like some of the books I read. Oh, we're just gonna throw me right into some really thrilling and terrifying plot lines I see. Okay. It's very good. It's very good. I finished Little Women and I loved it. It is such a charming story. I love that it doesn't really try to be explosive or exciting or over the top really in any way. It's just a day-to-day, moment-to-moment, wonderful family and a neighbor boy and all the people in it that are flawed and young and not done yet, and we just get to live life with them and we get to learn lessons with them. We get to see them make mistakes and learn and grow, and how their stories of how they grow involve each other and how much each of their individual growth is affected by each other. I'm so happy with this story. It's surprisingly long for what it is. There are definitely some bits that I felt like, okay, cool, I get it, let's move on. But at the same time, I think each of those little bits just create this charm that couldn't be there without it. Because I really feel like I just lived a whole life. I really feel like I just lived a whole lifetime with this entire family and everybody around them. I really feel like I have grown up with them and watched them change and grow and find their place. And I loved it. I love this story. It's so beautiful. It's so charming. And while I understand that Alcott's goal is for us to grow up with them and us to learn the lessons alongside them and for us to see how they're changing and why they're changing, and it is a little bit on the nose sometimes. Sometimes the lessons that Marmee is telling them or that they're telling each other is very like, it's like I'm speaking directly to the reader now. and it doesn't hide that at all. Which most of the time I find it very, very charming, because the point is that we're growing up and learning alongside them. And this is a story that I don't know if it was targeted. I don't know if it was targeted for a younger audience, but it's one that's great to read with a younger audience, because there's so many conversations as these kids are being shaped that I feel like when my kids are older, if I were to read this with them chapter by chapter together, there's so many conversations that we could be having together as we read this, and I love the story for that. But sometimes they are a little bit like, it's a little bit too on the nose. It's a little bit too like, dear reader, I want you to know that if you're reading stories like Jo was writing when she was writing, you know, about action and about characters with bad morals, like, I want you to know that you are not doing the right thing, you know what I mean? Which it was like, I found that one funny, because it's like, oh, well, she wouldn't like some of the books I read. Some of it is, I think Alcott jumps out of the pages a little bit too much in some of her morals and some of the lessons that she tells, but it's a pretty small complaint for me, because most of the time I find it very charming, and most of the time I'm right there with the characters and I feel like I'm just learning lessons alongside them, which I think is a big part of what the charm of this book is. I just finished filming my book to movie video, and it was a lot of fun, or at least I had fun doing it. So I'm really excited to talk about that, because I think that the movie is extremely loyal to the book, but it also made some massive changes, and I have so many opinions on those massive changes, and I'm really excited to discuss them with you, so that's fun. I'm tired of talking. I just, you know, because I was filming. I'm tired of talking. So I'll talk to you. I've read a lot of Hunter x Hunter. I've been working on Malazan, and that's all. So I'll probably only have one more clip in this video, because the week's already almost done. So I'll talk to you when that's time. You, Sapper, the Burgist said, are the scum beneath a pebble in a stream running through a field of sickly pigs. I am currently reading Malazan book 3. I lost the physical copy, so I'm reading it on my phone, which is why I'm reading off of my phone right now because I'm looking at my highlights. And I'm so happy to be back in Malazan for a lot of reasons. It feels really good to be back with these characters that I really, really care about and have spent so much time away from, because if you don't know, book 2 follows a completely different almost completely different cast of characters than book 1 does, and I was missing these characters. Even though I loved the characters of book 2, I have missed these characters, and it's been a long time between these books. It feels so good to be with them, and from the very beginning of this book, there's so much intrigue happening. There's so much, we're thrown right back into their perspectives, but it's like, it doesn't feel like, okay, we're just picking back up from book 1. Like, there's already so much progress that's plaguing these characters. There's already so much happening to them that they're forced to either accept or fight against. Quickbin always has something interesting happening to him. I know that the Crippled God is a title of a future book, and the opening segment with him with the Crippled God was one of the most thrilling things I have read in a minute. Well, in a novel. I'm currently reading Hunter x Hunter at the same time as this, so I mean, there's a lot going on in my reading life right now. But everything going on with him is so thrilling. Poor Perrin, everything happening with him and the stuff that he's having to adjust to, accept, fight against. And what's her name? Fox? Silver? What? Hold on. Silver Fox. Silver Fox? Everything happening with this character, this young girl who, oh my gosh, who is born of 2 souls. I won't say any more than that, but I will say that some of my favorite characters from book 1 are very connected to this character, and oh, we're just gonna throw me right into some really thrilling and terrifying plot lines I see. Okay. Oh, she is so creepy and terrifying, but also the way that she just accepts what her future is and everybody's reaction at interacting with her, the way she's affecting the woman that's traveling with her. I'm keeping it really vague this time, but eventually we're just gonna have to, in the vlog sections, we're just gonna have to have spoiler sections where we talk about what's going on, because there's so much going on so fast, and it's both overwhelming and completely exciting and intriguing, and oh, there's too much happening here. So anyway, I'm almost done with book 1 in book 3. This is one of those fantasy novels where the sections are broken up and they're called books. So I'm almost done with the first section of it. There, that's what I'm talking about. The sections are broken up. Can you even just do it, camera? Just do what I want you to do. There we go. The sections are broken up like that. So I'm almost to book 2. I'm not actually there yet. I have a chapter left, which is, you know, these chapters are long. But I'm loving it. I'm loving everything. And I'm overwhelmed. I'm very overwhelmed, but it's incredible. Let me see if there's anything that I forgot to mention. Hang on. Oh my golly. Okay, all right. I'm just gonna say that last line in chapter 4, I will fail you. I don't know. Erikson writes these complex stories that are so exciting. It's so exciting, not just in the action, which I think that the action is incredible in his books, but it's so exciting in the intrigue. Like, intrigue is cool in general. I like a good story that, you know, builds suspense and that isn't telling you everything right off the bat. It's not a big info dumpy story. It gives you information piece by piece and makes you wonder, what does that mean? And is that a clue to something? I love books like that. But Erikson manages to do that while also making the intrigue thrilling. Like, the way these characters think about the world and the way they respond to the world and the intricate ways that the world is pushing them and pulling them and forcing them in directions, and the way that they try to either accept their fate or resist it, and the way, just the internal conflicts are thrilling the way this story is written. I don't understand everything that's happening, but I am loving it so much. Hunter x Hunter, okay. Timestamps, because I will be talking spoilers again. I have now, so timestamps to skip this part. I'm now to the point, I'm at chapter 275, so this is where I'm stopping for the next review. So I'm done reading, probably to the end of this week, so that I can get my notes together and film my review of this section. So just some quick notable things. I'm loving what we're getting from King. I fully expected him to be a character that was just ruthless and cruel and evil. His introduction into the story, you know, bursting through his mom's womb and essentially killing her and then not caring and leaving her there and telling her royal guard, leave her, she doesn't matter, get me more comfortable digs. Like, he didn't come off as a very compassionate character, and with him in his interactions with this girl as they play this game, him almost like finding his morality, interacting with her and learning from her and listening to her and being involved with what, being very engaged in their conversations, and then him asking her name and all these, I don't know, all these little things that cause him to question, what is my purpose in life? And it causing him to unravel as his humanity peeks through, and he's trying to fight against that and trying to be, you know, this violent creature that he believes himself to be, but in reality there's more to him there, and he's having a harder time resisting that other part of him. And then you have characters like Poof. I actually don't know if I'm saying his name right. I should check on that before I record the review. But his one royal guard with a violin, who is unraveling at the sight of his king unraveling, and his king going in a direction that he doesn't feels is worthy of him. Oh, I'm so fascinated by that character. So fascinated by that character. Pito's continued absolute unwavering loyalty to King, that when Pito is asked to heal the girl, they give their entire being to that, and to the point of like, here's my wrist, like surrendering myself to Gon so that, you know, I'm not trying to harm you, I'm just trying to help her, because that was the command issued to me. And it was just like, I just wasn't expecting that kind of vulnerability and complete loyalty from Pito. For whatever reason, I thought they would turn on King or be more selfish in some way. And then just like the general suspense that's built with the characters deliberating over what their enemy must be thinking and what they must be doing, and why the king must have ripped his arm off, and you know, what they must be doing with Palm because Palm's missing. And seeing them just kind of like try to deliberate and try to figure it out. And we, the readers, we know more than they do. So we see like where they're right and where they're wrong. And it just builds this tension and this feeling of unease and anxiety that they're feeling as the time is counting down until they can storm the castle. And along with that, with all this suspense that's being built up with, you know, Nav planting his portals and with Palm doing whatever she's doing. I mean, we obviously know, I don't know why she's missing. I don't know what's going on with her. Maybe I missed something. I should go back and look at that before anyway. With all these things that are happening, that, you know, these characters are like trying to get their chess pieces into place, and all this suspense that's being built, and all this tension that's so tangible in the story. Along with that, we're also cutting to these incredible fights with Morel against the cheetah character, and then Morel against the lion character, and, you know, Gon fighting against ants that are ambushing him, and Killua fighting against ants that are ambushing him, and just like the sniper. Is the sniper an ant? I'm going a lot off of memory. I will get some notes together. I won't be this I'm just giving you, I just finished reading this section last night, so I'm just giving you mind dump thoughts. I'll get it together. But anyway, all this tension that's being built, and then on top of that, you're also getting these incredible fights that are kind of like keeping the pacing feeling really, feeling like there's a lot of movement, while really the movement is very subtle. And I'm loving the tension. I'm loving this feeling of suspense that Togashi, this feeling of dread that Togashi is building, but I'm also loving these little spurts of action that we're getting along the way. It's just great. I'm just loving it all. And then we actually do storm the castle, and of course my patrons were like, stop here, stop at 275, which is like the most rude place to make me stop, but I understand where I am. They say there is no good stopping point. It's just like, there's a lot going on till the end, so, it's very good. It's very good. So that's my jumbled thoughts on this. Gon is officially confronting Pito, and I'm scared. What else is new? Hunter x Hunter is causing me to yell a lot. I love it. It's so good. Okay. Oh, okay. I have not read any more Spy Family. We're back out of spoiler. I'm done talking about other things now. I have not read any more Spy Family this week because I've just been real focused on Hunter x Hunter, but I now have to take a break from Hunter x Hunter so I can get some notes together and film, and ideally edit too before I move forward, so that nothing can affect, you know, the review before I move on. So I will have some time for Spy Family, so there'll definitely be some Spy Family in the next week's vlog. There will definitely be some more Hunter x Hunter in next week's vlog as well, because I have to keep going. More Malazan, and I'm picking up at least one more other book. So I'm sorry this vlog was weird. I didn't really realize that it was only gonna be 2 vlog clips, and the biggest one was gonna be right here, but it's just the way my week worked out. So hopefully it'll be, you know, better balance next week. But I hope you enjoyed it. I post videos on Thursdays. Chat with me more in the comments. I always love that. I will see you again soon. Bye.